You spend hours and hours studying, and by tomorrow, most of it is just gone, vanished. It's incredibly frustrating, right? You put in the work, you feel like you're making progress, but then it just slips away. Here's the truth that nobody ever tells you. It's not because you're bad at learning. It's not a personal failing. It's because your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Your brain is a survival machine, not a hard drive. It's built for efficiency. So it has a very strict, almost ruthless policy. It deletes information that feels unused. It's like an automatic file clearing system for anything it deems unimportant. That's why most people forget nearly everything they learn within just a few days. It's a natural process. And yet, think about this. In Japan, students memorize thousands of complex kanji characters. We're talking intricate symbols with multiple meanings and pronunciations. And they don't just memorize them for a test, they retain them for life. So what's the real difference? Is it just raw effort? Sheer willpower? No. Is it discipline? Well, partially, but that's not the whole story. The real fundamental difference is the method. It's the how, not just the how much. Most of us study in a way that feels productive, but actually signals to our brain, hey, this is just background noise. Think about it. Rereading your notes over and over, highlighting entire paragraphs until the page glows yellow, passively watching educational videos, maybe even at double speed. Your brain treats all of this the same way it treats those ads you scroll past on social media. It sees the information for a split second, it acknowledges its existence, and then it immediately tunes it out, marking it as irrelevant. It doesn't engage. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. How many nights have you spent meticulously highlighting page after page, feeling super productive, only to stare at the test paper and feel your mind go completely, terrifyingly blank? That sinking feeling isn't a sign of laziness. It's not that you didn't try, that's pure neuroscience in action. There's a well-documented phenomenon called the forgetting curve, first discovered by Hermann Ebbinghaus over a century ago. And it is brutal. It shows that within just 24 hours of learning something new, your brain dumps most of it. We're talking up to 70% gone. By day 3, almost nothing significant remains. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in it. Unless you interrupt the process. You have to actively fight against this natural decay of memory. And here's the part that most people never hear, the part that changes the game completely. You don't need to study harder, you don't need to pull more all-nighters or chain yourself to your desk. You need to study smarter. You need to study in a way your brain actually respects, in a language it understands. Japanese students, through centuries of educational refinement, figured this out. Not by cramming more information in less time, not by brute force memorization, but by using 5 simple, elegant principles that work with the brain's natural wiring, not against it. Let's break them down, one by one, because this is where everything changes. First, and arguably the most important, is active recall. Most of us are obsessed with input. We focus on getting information into our heads, reading, watching, listening, highlighting. But here's the secret. Strong memories are not built through input. They are forged through output. The act of retrieving information is what matters. Every single time you force your brain to pull a fact or a concept out of its own storage, the neural connections for that memory get stronger, thicker, and faster. The struggle to remember isn't failure. That struggle is the training. It's the mental equivalent of lifting a weight. So, close the book. Put away the notes, grab a blank piece of paper, and write down everything you can remember about a topic. Explain it out loud to an empty room. It will feel uncomfortable. It will be difficult. Good. That discomfort is the feeling of learning actually locking in. The second principle is small steps, daily. Instead of trying to force-feed your brain a massive 3-hour lecture, you break learning down into tiny, manageable, almost ridiculously small pieces. This is the core philosophy behind the world-famous Kumon method. A little bit every single day consistently beats a massive cram session once a week. Why? because you avoid overwhelming your brain's working memory, and you allow for the process of consolidation, where the brain moves information from short-term to long-term storage to happen naturally overnight. Progress compounds, quietly, almost invisibly, until one day you look back and you're shocked by how far you've come. Western students often cram. Japanese students accumulate. It's a fundamental difference in approach. Third is spaced repetition. Think of a memory like a delicate plant. If you water it only once when you plant it, it withers and dies. If you water it every single day, you can drown it. But if you water it strategically, just as it's about to dry out, it grows strong and resilient. Spaced repetition applies this to your brain. You review information just before the forgetting curve takes its toll. The ideal interval is to review about 24 hours after you first learned something, then a few days later, then a week later, then a month. Each review, perfectly timed, pushes the forgetting curve further and further out, strengthening the memory exponentially instead of forcing you to restart from zero every time. Fourth is the beautiful concept of Kaizen, which translates to continuous improvement. The goal is not a heroic 8-hour study session that leaves you completely burnt out. The goal is to get just 1% better every single day. The power is in the consistency, not the intensity. Think about what you could do with just 6 minutes a day. It sounds like nothing, right? But what if you used it with intention? 2 minutes for active recall, just trying to remember, 2 minutes for reviewing your mistakes, and 2 minutes for practicing one small new thing. It seems trivial, but over a year, that small, consistent effort compounds into mastery. No burnout, no drama, just steady, unstoppable progress. Finally, the fifth principle, ritualized focus. The techniques we've discussed are powerful, but they work best within a structured environment. Your brain thrives on signals and cues. To learn effectively, you need to tell your brain, okay, pay attention. This is important. How? By creating a ritual. Study in the same place, at the same time, with the same setup. Put your phone in another room. Turn off notifications. Create a pre-study routine. Maybe it's making a cup of tea or tidying your desk. When learning becomes a deliberate, intentional act, your brain tags the incoming information as high priority. It knows it's time to focus. Now, take a second and think about this. The last thing you truly mastered in your life, was it a video game, a musical instrument, a sport? You didn't just consume content about it, did you? You didn't just watch videos of other people playing. You practiced. You failed. A lot. You got frustrated. You adjusted your technique. You tried again. That cycle of effort, failure, and adjustment is how real, deep, lasting learning actually works. It's an active process. So here's the choice you have right now. You can continue on the same path. You can keep cramming, highlighting, and passively watching, and you can keep experiencing that same frustrating cycle of learning and forgetting. Or you can decide to build a system that respects how your brain is actually wired, a system that makes learning stick. The top 1% of performers in any field won't just hear this information and think it's interesting. They'll take it and they'll use it starting today. The only question left is, will you?
Most people will close this video and do nothing. If that's not you, leave a like. Comment intentional if you're acting tomorrow. Subscribe. This channel is for builders. We don't watch life pass by. We build.